So the given signal x of z whose value is log of 1 minus a power z inverse. Find the value of x of n. So the given value is x of z. We need to find x of n. So we must go for inverse z transform. Again, the given value is in x of z. Given value is in x of z. We need to calculate x of n. So we need to go for inverse z transform. So inverse Z transform, for to solve this problem, you differentiate the given function once with respect to Z, once with respect to Z. So this is dx of Z by dz. So log of this one is 1 over the same function. Now this a power minus 1, once you differentiate this, we have the answer a power a into z power minus 2. So this a power minus z power minus 2 brought 1 z to the left side. That becomes z into dx of z by dz. So once this z power minus 2 is reduces to z power minus 1. So you keep this equation is 1. Now we have some basic signals a power n into a power n u of n whose z transform is 1 over 1 minus a z inverse. Multiply both sides by a. Now this function is now we have the famous property called the time shifting property. So this is a discrete signal. This discrete signal you delay by 1 unit, that is a power n minus 1 u of n minus 1. So it is delayed by 1 unit. How much amount is delayed is that much amount in multiplied by z power minus 1. So it is delayed by 1 unit z power minus 1. It is a into, it is same thing. Now again this signal is reduces. This one is reduces to like this. That means a into z inverse upon 1 minus a z inverse. A into z inverse upon 1 minus a z inverse can be written as this one. So for this function we have the inverse z transform. We have the inverse z transform is this. For this function, we have the z transform is this. For this function, we have the z transform is this. A into z power minus 1 inverse is this. So again back to equation 1. So when you take inverse z transform both sides, a z power minus 1 divided by 1 minus a z inverse. According to this, we can write a power n u of n minus 1. So for this we can write a power n u of n minus 1. Now come to left side, we have z into dx of z by dz. When you take inverse z transform, we have the property called any signal is multiplied by n. We have the property called any signal is multiplied by n whose z transform is minus z dx of z by dz. So using this property, this is called z transform n into x of n whose z transform is this. When you take inverse z transform, we have the answer n into x of n. So z dx of z by dz whose inverse is n into x of n. In the same manner, z into dx of z by dz whose inverse is n into x of n. Z into for this inverse transform is n into x of n. Z transform is inverse z transform is n into x of n. So therefore brought this n to downside, we have the answer like this. So this is the answer. X of n is minus a power n u of n minus 1 divided by n. This is the answer we have.